Okay, so the issue here with Victor is everything that he has is +4 into EI stance. So +4 into EI doesn't sound like a big deal, right? So +4 for everything apart from running 2. If we go running 2 non-stance entries for +2, but notice how far we're pushed away, right? But from here, running 2 into EI, we're +5. There's 2 key moves that you have to know from EI stance. You have EI1 on 13, which re-enters into EI stance. We can also double tap it and cancel back into EI, kind of like a white hole like Raven. Or we have EI4 on 18. Usually what you do is on defense, if you have to predict what the Victor player is going to do, you usually just want to go ahead and do a power crush. And since everyone has the same I-16, usually you want to go for the heat burst, because that way you can effectively challenge it. So here, what we're going to do, we're going to do running 2, the EI. We're going to go for EI1, our fastest attack. And now we got punished, right? So everything out of this position all loses to heat burst. Now, if we go for an option like down 1+2 on 20, we win, right? Because so 20 frames, we're +5. 1 frame beating the down 1+2 option. So we beat them by 1 frame clean, right? Okay, cool. So like, okay, now if we assume our opponent is going to go ahead and do a heat burst or a power crush, we can always go for EI4-2, which is NCC. The main problem is EI4-2 is not NC. Okay, so EI2 or EI4-2, we're -5 in stance. So from -5, usually high-level victors will go into sidestep deep, or against sidestep weak, they'll specifically go sidestep weak. That way, if they try to mash out into down 4-2 launch punish, right? So, okay, we have EI down +2 to win, EI4 to challenge heat burst, and once again, just to show it off here, we beat the option and we get a wall splat. So this is kind of like a hell sweep. So as mentioned, if the Victor player crouches, though, we go for the hell sweep, he ducks us and he launches us. So you might think to yourself, okay, well, what if we just do single EI4, right? -13, but we're back into stance, so we're actually launch punishable, because, again, we're 13 into a 3 into a 13, so 26. Or we have EI3, which is your 7-frame power crush. So it doesn't matter the speed of EI3, right? EI3 power crush on 7. So we're basically -19 in that stance. If we're -20, we win with our power crush on 7. Okay, right. Makes sense. The issue here, though, is, as talked about, notice how close we're left. So we can start really far away, right? And we're left right in his shit. So even though we initiate our running 2s here, we still transition into EI over here. Now the problem, though, is with everything else. So we have all the other moves, like down 4-4-2, +4, 2-2-2, +4, right? Notice how close we're left after 2-2-2. Notice how we're no longer touching feet. We're not in his hitbox. We're actually at like range 0.5. So the problem here is that post option, you can actually backdash. Normally he's too close. Right? Backdash. He's right. He's still left in it. So EI4, EI down 1+2, all these moves hit, right? But now, if we go for 2-2-2 EI, look how far he is from us, and that's after backdash. Notice at this position, if I do EI4, it whiffs. So what happens is, post 2-2-2, you have to go for EI down 1+2 to actually track down. Otherwise, because it's a 2-hit string, you backdash and duck EI4-2. And remember, like I said, if you do EI4, you're -19, effectively, right? So let's extrapolate that information. Let's assume you get hit by 2-2-2 or down 4-4-2 and +4, right? Now, if we go for our I-16 power crush, right? We trade. Not only do we trade negative. We're -3, and our opponent has heat on the table. So similarly, if we're plus frames, we trade negative, because they're never going to fix that, right? So the same issue is true. Full root, EI, down 1+2 is the only thing that actually can beat all the options except from hop kick, right? Because again, we can't go for EI4 at this range, because backdash wins. The issue with Victor is all they need to do is just remove the pushback. Instead of being left like this far, right? Let's say you're left this close. Now EI4 is a proper valid option to beat Power Crush. while still being risk averse than an option like EI down 1+2. Get rid of the pushback, and Victor will be significantly better on 2-2-2, and then down 4-4-2. All these have way too much pushback to actually represent a threat. Now, the only real benefit is when you're by the wall. 2-2-2, all the gun shoots actually cause a wall crush. So not only are you, close enough that they can't actually backdash anything, it's now you're plus 12, and now everything you can do from this position wins, regardless of what they mash. So EI2 can't be beat, EI1 fish for hit confirm, sort of thing. Yeah, you have a way more options, but it's double, double. Plus 12, and there's nowhere from him to run. But open field, dog shit. But that's the problem. It's pushback. Fix the pushback, this character will be fine. You don't even have to even buff him, just fix the pushback.